and the girl who cheats on you, while you need to work on being stronger, getting a new bench press max, making more money, scaling your business. That's what you need to focus on. Don't worry about her. She's just fine. She's in Bay of Biscayne, snorting off some rich guy's penis. Don't worry about her. She's doing just good.
Go ahead, ask the ladies.
Okay, ladies. So we had a guy who come on there. He was a boxer, and he kept telling us about how much experience he had with women. And then he explained to me, anytime a woman opens her legs and has sex with a man, she's only doing so because she wants to submit to that man and have a relationship with him. And I was like, bro, women
after something.
And I was like, bro, do you not know women like f***ing too? Like, what's going on? Ladies, is it possible that women just want to have sex sometimes and they don't need to be in a relationship? Raise your hand. Or do you think every time a woman has sex, she wants to be in a relationship? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think, Stacey?
Of course, it is totally possible for a sexual being, the femme,
hypothetically
to hypothetically want to open her legs. You know,
we're not talking about you guys. I'm just asking.
You know, not that I would know from experience. Yeah,
it's very possible.
I would know from experience, but like,
so that means that every time a woman tries to have sex, it's not because she's trying to be in a relationship.
Not a long-term one.
Maybe not you, obviously, but you've been on a bachelorette party and there was a girl who's like, he's hot and I just want to have sex with him.
No.
Also, let me ask you something. Is it possible for a woman to have sex with a man when she's just attracted to him and she doesn't respect him? Is that possible?
A lot of times too, where I see, like, I'm working at the club, like so many times I see like a bachelorette party hooking up with a bachelorette, the bachelor guy hooking up with a bachelorette just because they want 3 drinks and the guy has a bungalow.
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't have to pay $50 for a drink. So like, yeah, they're not trying to get with that guy. Or like, there's also times like you said, he's a boxer, right?
Yeah.
So like sometimes they just want it, like, I don't know, kind of like be cloudy, you know, like be like, oh, like I this like boxer person
for clout.
Clout.
For clout. Clout is not a relationship.
Like
yes.
cloudy though, so it's not about like hooking up, like wanting to like, be with him. Like, you know, girls can be guys too, and be like, it's nothing.
You see, do you hear what she said? Girls can be guys too, meaning having meaningless sex. Yeah, it's just so crazy. Norma, what do you think?
Yeah, I do think that there's a time when girls have sex with a guy and never want to see them ever again.
Exactly. Yeah. That's like girls get it too. Like you can kiss a girl, you can kiss a guy, and the kiss is like awful, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm glad I kissed him to get it over because now I never want to do it again.
Hey, do you know what wouldn't exist if every girl just wanted a relationship when she had sex? You know what wouldn't exist? Las Vegas. There wouldn't even be a city here. Dubai would not exist. Fucking Brickell would not exist. South Beach would not exist. Hollywood would not exist. None of these places would exist if girls were only down to have sex for long-term relationships. It was, and like the thing is, the guy would not listen. He continually believed, it was like, no, every girl who ever had sex with you was only there because they were ready to be in a long-term committed relationship. And I was like, man, what kind of belief? Then I actually started thinking about it. It's like, maybe this guy just chooses really well. I don't know what his
I bet guys are more sensitive than me that think they want to be in a relationship when I get the eggs. So I'm just like,
I know a couple girls who tested out the cow before.
Yes.
Test it out.
Yeah,
no, we should talk about
that. Go for a test drive.
I was just gonna say is like the guy just would not relent. There's only one like truth, and that was it.
Yeah.
And like he hits me up later on, like after that, and he DMs me on Twitter, and he's like, dude, I really want to debate you on this on a long-term I'm like, dude, we just had like an hour and a half on this.
And it wasn't
what more
is
there to say, my friend?
He just kept repeating himself.
Yeah. Well, and then like coming back at me like, hey, Rollo, back me up on this. Like, I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, when I was in my 20s and my, in Hollywood and my rock star 20s and stuff, there were women who just wanted for the sake of fucking. Okay. Like I had to my name, I had a pickup truck. I had like a half stack amp. I had a couple of guitars. I had a beat up,
Ladies,
I lived in a studio. That's why I keep saying it's not about the money, right? I mean, it just depends on like if the vibe is there, if you're playing the character that she wants to get with, if it's the hot guy on the foam cannon party on Cancun on spring break and he was hot, he was cute, you were drunk, and one thing led to another. That happens all the time, and there's no pretense to it. It's just like, are you DTF? Yes. Okay, let's go.
Ladies, if you had a situation where you've dealt with a guy who's been dishonest with you, go ahead and put your hand up if that's ever happened to you. Yes, you have. Really?
And he's now a narcissist.
Guys ever lied to me?
Yeah.
I mean, every guy's lied to everyone. Every girl's probably like,
cool. All right, you get a choice in your life. Are you bitter about it, or you're just like, that's how the guys are, and you just move on with your life? I find women, I love being around women, and if women are going to be dishonest or act all crazy or whatever, it just doesn't bother me because I look at it like puppies. Like you guys are like puppies. If the puppy poops on the floor, I'm not going to kill the puppy. It's just like, whatever, it's a puppy. It's not that big of a deal. The thing is, are people self-serving? Yes. Are people solipsistic? Yes. Do people act in narcissistic ways? Yes, they do. Just don't let it bother you. That's the thing. I just wouldn't let it bother. You're not going to change how people are. And then you go through your life with abundance. And then eventually you meet the one person that you want to be with long term. And then you try to make it work. And then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, because we have a 56% divorce rate in this country. But the thing is, like, the idea of letting it bother you, or more importantly, the idea of like hating people who don't do what you want, meaning your girlfriend cheated on you, therefore f- her, she deserves bad karma. We're going to have a video today where we're going to actually respond to that.
Oh yeah.
It's one of these things, guys. If the world doesn't give you what you want, then you need to work harder and take personal responsibility and accountability to do better, not think that the world is going to punish the person who fucked you over, because the world rarely does. Can anyone name for me all the bankers who went to jail after that subprime mortgage crisis of 2008? Go ahead and name all the bankers who went to jail.
Big Short.
I'm waiting. All the bankers who went to prison. Oh, so you mean they fucked us and none of them went to jail? Funny. You think people are going to pay for shit. O.J. Simpson, before he died, he allegedly stabbed people 56 times, and he got offered millions of dollars to do a fantasy football podcast. Jordan Belfort punches his wife in the stomach, kidnaps his own child, and now he's a best-selling author and a huge sales trainer. No one pays for it. And the girl who cheats on you, while you need to work on being stronger, getting a new bench press max, making more money, scaling your business, that's what you need to focus on. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about her. She's just fine. She's she's in Bay of Biscayne snorting cocaine off some rich guy's penis. Don't worry about her. She's doing just good. She's not going to, don't worry. Guys, the thing that you need to understand, the reason why this is not an issue, ladies, no offense, but is because there are so many simps out there that if your girl leaves you and does everything wrong, like, well, there was one girl, she used to work at the bank, and this girl was a cocktail server, but she used to be a star. She did for a long time. It was like she had all new teeth because she was like doing a bunch of drugs or whatever. And so she's done everything wrong. And you know what she got? You know what she got for her troubles? A diamond ring the size of my head from the guy who proposed to her. That's what happened. And then she had 2 beautiful children with him. Like, that's what ends up happening in the end. Do you guys understand? Yeah. Nobody pays for it. Don't look at it and be like, karma's going to come back and get you. That is a terrible way to live your life. Live your life in abundance. Live your life in growth. Only worry about you and your friends doing better. Don't worry about other people doing worse. That's the trick. That's the key. That's the way you're going to get happy. Otherwise, you're going to live in a world of vengeance. And that's it. And it doesn't work any better. So don't try to get vengeance. Don't try to get back at these whores or put them in their place. Let people do whatever they want. And if they do what you don't like, they're just puppies who shit on the floor. That's all they are. Don't be upset about it. Don't let it bother you. Ask yourself.
And don't let it consume you until you're like 53 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that guy.
It's just like my experiences with women my whole life, well, maybe in like the last 20 years have been nothing but positive. And it doesn't mean that every girl I've been with wants to be in a long-term relationship and never lied. No, you and I know crazy ass people who live in this city. It's like, no, it's not like that, but it's funny. It's fun. You remember during COVID, those wild ass mansion parties that we went to all the time? People were getting up, drunk, naked up on tables or whatever. It was funny. We had a good time. I don't want to marry her. I don't want to marry her, but we had a good time. It was just so fucking fun. So you charge it to the game and you move on and you have a good time and you don't blame people for. That's the only thing I would like to ask for you guys. You can think that I'm wrong. You can call me all kinds of names, or you can join this little clique right here and actually like level up in life. That's up to you.
They say, and you sound like Ryan from Pillow Talk.
Really? I sound Canadian?
Oh, yeah.
I sound Canadian now?